Hi, this is Water and Air 1111. Thank you for watching another video of mine. Thank you to everyone who's been liking, commenting, and subscribing to my channel and to um, getting personal readings from me. If you're interested in a personal reading, the link to my website's in the description box below. I hope you all have had a good weekend. So today is the 20th, so tonight in the overnight period, at least if you're in the US, we're going to be having our full moon total lunar eclipse, so that's really exciting. So originally I was going to just make this like a general reading check-in video because I kind of already did my full moon video, but I actually was meditating today and I got some messages that I just wanted to share, particularly regarding the divine masculine. So I think I'm just going to lead off with that, and then we'll jump into pulling some cards to see, what else wants to come through. And I definitely suggest you guys to take a little bit of time to meditate. It doesn't have to be for like an overly long period of time, but maybe take 10-20 minutes if you can, especially, um, at night if you can, but anytime to clear your mind and just see what comes and flows to you. So when I was meditating, I got a couple of different messages. So first of all, there's so much heart chakra opening going on. I felt like my heart was going to like flutter out of my chest. That was really, really intense. And I get heart fluttering sometimes in meditation, but this was just like on another level. So that's the first thing. So I feel like there's a lot of heart chakras opening up, and awareness of that, because something that I was seeing is I kept seeing like a cursor and I kept seeing it click. So I feel like there's some divine masculine who like things are falling into place like in their mind consciously, where it's kind of clicking into place how they feel, who their person is, and things like that. So that was another big thing. So another thing that I got when I was meditating about the divine masculine that was just kind of coming through was I kept hearing various phrases about kind of disappointment. So one thing I heard was like I let my father down. So I feel like some divine masculine are kind of being really reflective right now and are looking at their past decisions just as their, as a person, um, how they were raised. Because I was also seeing things with like younger, like child looking versions of divine masculine and interactions with their mother as well. So I feel like issues are like the topic of relationships with their parents is something that's coming up now as well, and realizing how some of them are realizing how they were kind of suppressed from a younger age in terms of being in touch with their emotions and being in touch with their more feminine energy, their intuition, that sort of things. Others, like I said, I saw and like I heard um, someone saying like I let my father down, so having a little bit of disappointment over the past, over, kind of getting to the root of why certain actions were taken on their part, again, maybe when they were younger, um, and with that as well, like getting over some fears, I feel like, of disappointing people around them, of disappointing their parents. So whether it's feeling like they did them by past actions or feeling like they will disappoint them by making future actions, I feel like just acknowledging that and kind of getting over those things is something that's happening for some divine masculine as well right now. So parenting things. Another thing that came through was and I know I keep saying like I heard or I saw, so like when I meditate, like I do see pictures, it's like a movie, and then I also, depending on what it is, I also will hear things. So something else where I saw and heard things was I saw it was like an interaction between like a man and a woman, so like the divine masculine and divine feminine, and it's like the divine feminine for some reason was kind of going away from the divine masculine, saying, So the person that I saw, like, she was saying, I can't go because I know if I do, then everything will become serious. So I feel like there's some divine feminine who maybe have a little bit of fear of actually coming together with their divine masculine. And I know that sounds a little bit strange, a little bit like, well, why would you have fear over this if you're the feminine and you've been kind of waiting or wanting for your divine masculine to have certain realizations? But I feel like for some divine feminine, there may be something a little bit, deeper beneath the surface where it's like, yes, you want your divine masculine, but then there's also a fear of it actually happening. It's kind of like when you wish on a star for something to happen, but then when it actually happens, it's like, oh damn, it's really happening. So now I really have to do this. That sort of thing. And in that interaction, so after the woman said that, and like ran to the bathroom and closed the door, and was like wearing a dress. Yeah. So after that woman said that, and what I saw, then I saw the guy, and he was like, and he said, and that's why, like, he said, that's why I'm not coming forward yet, or that's why it took me so long to come forward. Something to that effect. So I feel like for those people, for those like divine feminine or even divine masculine as well, who have that sort of fear of things becoming serious, of becoming a little bit too real. Not that they don't want to be with their divine counterpart, but just because it's like when it happens, it really happens, and there's no more, it's kind of like all in at this point, especially if you've gone through your own trials and tribulations with your divine masculine or with your divine feminine coming together, separating. There's a little bit of fear of like once this happens this next time, knowing that like it has to be all or nothing. You have to be all in and have to be ready to go. Um, and so then that divine masculine, he was just saying like that's why it took me so long, because I knew that it was going to get to this point. I knew that it was going to get real, and I held off on doing this as long as possible. So it's like there's a little bit of fear on both sides, fear of receiving what it is you want, which I really feel like goes back to almost like fear of success. And that may even go back to, especially if you're divine feminine and you feel that way sometimes, fear of receiving what you truly want, fear of receiving what you truly deserve. You may want to work on your lower chakras. You may want to work on your root chakra, on your solar plexus chakra as well, to be receptive to what the universe has to bring into you. And divine masculines being fearful of if they get what if they, come with what they have as their offer for their divine feminine, that it's going to be rejected. So it's like similar things needing to kind of be worked on. So those were major things. Again, I got so much like heart palpitations, so much heart fluttering. It was just so intense. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I wanted to share that kind of came through. Yeah, I think those are the main things that really came through. Um, yeah, so I hope that was helpful. I don't know if it is, but I wanted to share that especially because I was just meditating, and tonight's the full moon, like I was mentioning. So let's go ahead and get into this reading, and I will timestamp this, and let's see what's going on now. So with the divine masculine, what's going on? What is the divine masculine going through, experiencing right now? Already, that was the Eight of Cups wanting to come out. What's the divine masculine going through right now? Okay, Ace of Swords, like I said, it's starting to click into place for some divine masculine. So whether it's there has to do with their divine feminine, or it has to do with certain realizations and new ways of thinking about their connection with their parents, something's happening. Something's, you know, rising to the surface right now for them, and it's providing a turning point for them. And the bottom of the deck for that is the Faith card. So this is the Hierophant. So again, especially regarding their parents, I feel. I feel like divine masculine have had a lot of disappointment over who they are in relation to their parents. So like as a son or as a daughter, feeling like there are expectations on them, feeling like they need to do certain things in order to receive love from their parents. Because even in that scene that I saw with the like boy and the mother, it was very much like a reprimand, and something that some divine masculine have learned from a very young age, and this impacted them for, you know, a good portion of their lives. Getting more swords here, lots of thoughts going on. Seven of Swords. So again, I feel like that's kind of almost self-sabotage, or thinking about things that they've done that, you know, maybe they regret from various relationships. And then with the Palace of Swords, so this is the place where you would get that clarity of mind. I feel like that's where the divine masculine are kind of living, in the Palace of Swords. And yeah, bottom of the deck is the Star card. So it's like they're healing from this. They're healing from these realizations and revelations right now. And again, because this is a full moon total lunar eclipse, it's like these are things that are coming up to be removed. So having these kind of deeper traumas or deeper realizations come to the forefront completely makes sense. So let's go ahead and just get some clarifiers for these cards. So what is the Ace of Swords about for the divine masculine, for their energy right now? What is this Ace of Swords about? Okay, so we got, yeah, two cards, the Three of Swords, and we also got the Four of Wands. So like I said, they're having clarity over things that have disappointed them. They're coming to terms with the things that have caused them heartbreak, things that have kind of wounded them at some point, in relation to their own, and I'm really taking this to be regarding their like childhood issues, family wounds right now. Although, of course, with the Four of Wands, this could also be regarding their connection with their divine feminine. Bottom of the deck is the Queen of Swords, and again, I feel like this is that scene that I just talked about of being like reprimanded, of cutting things out, of not showing emotion, that sort of thing. Let's get some more cards. And it's interesting how many swords we have on the table right now. So what is this Three of Swords about? Four of Cups. Yeah, so I feel like this is like not wanting, being in pain by not receiving what you want, or being told that you can't do something or you can't have what it is that you want. Bottom of the deck is the Nine of Pentacles, so it's like being told, oh, you need to be happy doing this or doing that. And maybe, like if you're told you need to do this or that as a son or daughter to your parents, and it's not what you want, it causes you pain, it causes you to be disappointed, it causes you to start putting up walls, like this person is completely blocked off. And still trying to be successful despite that, but it's still a wound that needs to be healed, that needs to be hurt. Not being satisfied with your pain. The Strength card in reverse. So also feeling like it's like that's the way it is. It's like I can't do anything about it. Feeling like you're not strong enough to overcome the things that are causing you sadness or disappointment or separation in your life. But I feel like these are the things that Divine Masculine is thinking about, and they're realizing the truth in those situations and the truth of kind of their own power within those situations to make it better. So with this Four of Wands, what is this about? So with the Four of Wands, I have the Temperance and Knight of Cups, as well as the Hierophant card in the reverse. So again, taken two ways. So regarding Divine Masculine, how they feel towards their parents, so as their parent's child, I feel like it's almost like they learned to balance their emotions in maybe the wrong way. They were learning, from your parents, you kind of model them whatever you do. So if that situation with their parents wasn't stable or wasn't healthy, or their dynamic was off in some way, or they were just taught something, it's like they learned those things and mimicked those things and figured out how to make it work for them. So then it led to when they were becoming the Knight of Cups to the Divine Feminine or to anyone else, it's like that's what they were giving. They were giving this kind of unstable energy. They were giving this energy that says, these are my relationship standards, or this is what I expect from you, or I expect from myself, whether it was, high quality or not. And that's what they were giving back. So again, those things that were learned within the home being transferred out. So Divine Masculine really making the connection that, certain feelings and experiences that they've had have been with them a long time, whether they initially realize that or not. And what else is this Ace of Swords here for? Yep, and so we have the Hermit card and the Three of Swords. So again, Divine Masculine are spending time within themselves, feeling through their hurt, feeling through their own pain. And through that, they're building off into a new direction. They're building off into new realizations, new understandings of themselves, of the relationships they've had, and of where they want to go. Okay, so I'm going to slide these over here a bit. So the next card that we have is the Seven of Swords. So the Seven of Swords is about deception. It's about being sneaky. And again, it's like a continuation of, I feel, especially with the swords that we have, like understanding their own motives, understanding their own behavior from the past. So let's get some cards on the Seven of Swords. What is the Seven of Swords about for Divine Masculine's energy? Okay, so we have the Sun. Like I said, they're realizing certain deceptions, certain sneaky stuff, not so great stuff that they did, especially regarding their Divine Feminine. Now there we have the Hierophant again. They're looking at the learned behavior that they modeled and reflected back onto their Divine Feminine. And they're seeing how, hey, maybe that was sneaky behavior. Maybe that wasn't me being in my most upright, Divine Masculine, truthful, justful, high integrity self. So what is the Sun card about? So we have the Star reversed and the Magician reversed. And the bottom of the deck is the Nine of Cups. So I feel like they're realizing that things that they reflected back on their divine feminine, they weren't helping the situation. They were hurting the situation. And they weren't building what they wanted to actually build with their divine feminine. And because of that, with the star coming out reversed as well, you know, some divine masculine may feel like, I don't know if I can build back enough energy, positive energy, and goodwill with my divine masculine, my divine feminine from here, because I was already being sneaky. I was already manifesting things that I didn't want to, you know, going back to my own childhood, going back to my old relationship kind of templates, and reflecting it back on my divine feminine. So that wasn't helping me manifest anything strong or stable. It was helping me manifest things that I actually did not want. So again, going back to this kind of realization of self-deception, of behavior that kind of down the road blew up in their face a little bit. So let's see what this star card in reverse is about. So with the star card in reverse, we have the Four of Swords and the Ten of Cups. So like I said, I feel like divine masculine are trying to figure out if anything is salvageable here. They may not have quite made the move yet with this Four of Swords here. But with this Ten of Cups, it's like they're still wanting some type of happiness, or still wanting some type of positivity, and they may be thinking about it a lot, but haven't made the move yet. And like I picked up from earlier, I feel like some divine masculine haven't made the move because they're unsure of what, like, it's going to be really real, and they're going to have to deal with things, and they know they can't come with like a half of an offer. They're going to have to come all in, ready to go. So why is this Four of Swords here? So I get the Five of Pentacles. So yeah, it's like if you're going to be, if you don't feel like you have enough, or they don't feel like they have enough right now, they're not going to come in. They're just going to keep waiting until they feel like it's the perfect time to come in. Because they know that they need to have that full Ten of Pentacles. They need to be kind of their best version of themselves, have all of this, you know, positives of the Nine of Pentacles to make the best offer to their divine feminine. So let's see, what else is this Seven of Swords about? King of Pentacles. I feel like divine masculine are seeing that they may have robbed themselves of being this kind of loyal, equal partner that the divine feminine was desiring to have, or that they knew that they could be. This kind of trustworthy person, this loyal person, this, you know, ideal relationship partner. They kind of rob themselves of showing those aspects of themselves to their divine feminine. And that may have resulted in separation between the two. And I have the Two of Wands in reverse, so that was a decision that they made, but now again they're going back on their decision to be like, maybe it wasn't the right one. We have the Six of Swords in reverse. It didn't actually get me to where I wanted to go. So now let's take a look at the last card, which is the Palace of Swords. So the Palace of Swords is also, I feel like this is literally where the divine masculine's living right now. They're living in a palace of their own thoughts, of their own truth, where they can't escape, you know, they can't escape what the truth is. They can't, you know, suppress anything. They can't hold anything back from themselves. Like, they're living their truth right now. They're not able to escape it. They're not able to suppress it. And that's really what they're needing to experience right now to eclipse out you know, the realizations that they have of their own patterns. Because until you recognize your own patterns, you can't really identify what needs to change. So let's see what this is about. So what else are they getting as they are going through these realizations, these thoughts? What else is coming through? What else is the Divine Masculine experiencing with this Palace of Swords? Five of Swords, like I said, they're seeing all of their deception. They're seeing all of the betrayal that maybe that I feel like I literally just got, they're seeing like their trail of destruction for some Divine Masculine. They're seeing the trail of hurt feelings, of hurt, missed opportunities, of, you know, leaving people behind without any explanation. They're facing all of those things. They're looking back at it and being like, okay, I did all of that because I had these experiences as a child, because I did this with my Divine Feminine. Like the result was like a trail of tears type of thing. Bottom of the deck is the Ace of Pentacles. So it's like I thought I was making my own stability. I thought I was doing the right thing. And even underneath that is the Hierophant again. I thought I was doing the right thing. I mean, it left me disappointed, but I thought that's what I had to do. And they're saying now, like, man, look at what happened. Look at what I've done. Look at what my actions have resulted in terms of other people that are in my life. Wow, I just got the Five of Swords again. So they're really looking at, you know, how they've betrayed other people, how they've betrayed themselves. They're looking at what their actions have done. Their actions have consequences. Bottom of the deck is the Empress, so especially regarding their Divine Feminine, they're looking at how their actions haven't all actually like given them the jump start that they want or that they intended to have by their actions. It's like if you're cutthroat, then you think that that's going to help you, but maybe you're just actually cutting your own throat. You're not actually getting what you are trying to get initially. So what are these Five of Swords about? What are these Five of Swords about? So we have the Ten of Wands. So these are all things that the Divine Masculine has really come to realize burdens them. We have the King of Cups as the bottom of the deck. So these are things that not only they're facing the truth and reality of their own actions, they're seeing how it's weighed them down. They're seeing how it's actually impacted them in ways that they didn't initially acknowledge. And they've been carrying it with them. They're needing to like release those things as they acknowledge them and stand in their truth regarding those situations. And it's only through that where they're going to be able to come out stronger on the other side, like the King of Cups. And there we have the Six of Cups. So especially, like I said, regarding the Divine Feminine, bottom of the deck is the Five of Cups. They're just really looking back at the past and being like, this is what I've done. It's like when you finish building a house, you go back through, you look through the house to see, you know, what each room looks like and look at how nice it is. But I feel like the Divine Masculine's looking through their house, looking through their Palace of Swords and being like, it's like Ghost of Christmas Past. You're seeing all of these things that have been not so positive for the people that you've left behind. And the more that they think on those things, the more kind of guilty they're feeling. And I also got the Page of Swords, so the more that they're also feeling like, okay, I need to say something, I need to do something. Bottom of the deck, Eight of Wands. So don't be surprised if your Divine Masculine does reach back out to you after this full moon / total lunar eclipse, because they're facing the facts right now. They're like facing it hard. They're looking at their own life. They're looking at their family and how that's impacted them. like childhood stuff and adult stuff. They're looking at connection with their divine feminine, and like I mentioned before, of how maybe they've taken a long time to approach their divine feminine because they know that it's going to be real. Maybe they're realizing that they have to deal with all of these things that they're seeing with this Palace of Swords and how that's real and it's no joke. And you have to be all in, ready to make an offer or ready to deal with what's happened in the past. So I hope this reading was really helpful. Let me know in the comments. Yeah, especially the beginning with the channeled message. So I don't always like have this, but it came through so hard, so like clearly and intensely today. So I wanted to share that. And yeah, if more things come to me, I will be back. I will share them. But I hope you all have a great um, total lunar eclipse period. Again, take some time to meditate, see what comes through, see what your guides are wanting to tell you. Um, light a candle, take a little bit of time and see what happens. So thanks for watching. If you're interested in a reading, my website is in the description box below. And yeah, I'll see you in my next video.